Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? We'll go ahead and kick it off a little bit early, let some people catch up and jump in. I'll do a quick roll call here. We got Ranger 10, we got Mai Kai, Pistol Pete, Lynn Holt, Dirt Track, and Milkman so far. So we will get more people as they come in. How are y'all all doing this evening? I hope very well. I am over the coof, the the cough. So, still every once in a while, cough a little bit and stuff, but 1000% better. So, and this evening we will be drinking some Bullet. So, good old Bullet, just the regular, not the maximum rye one, but Bullet is a really good kind of go-to, or one of my go-tos. I like it. Yeah, I think my guy definitely sound better, and I feel a lot better. So, yeah, that crap is just, well, y'all have probably all been through it. But what I wanted to do tonight is talk about some EDC stuff. And I did get something that I pre-ordered. So basically, they sent out a thing and said, hey, if you want to pre-order this or whatever, you can. And I'd been looking for it, so we'll get into it in a minute. But I had been looking for it because I knew that it was coming out. And so I pre-ordered it. And I mean, I hit order and did everything, and like 5 minutes later, I went back on because I was even thinking about ordering a second one, and they already sold out. So, and I just got it in the mail today, so I'll show you what it is. And of course, I paid for it; it wasn't free or anything. Let's see here, and then we're going to talk about like EDC stuff. I want to know, like, you don't have to give me the whole summary, but like what gun you carry, what holster you prefer, how you carry, appendix, 3 o'clock, things like that. I definitely would like to hear that. Hey, what's up, Reloading from the Hot Pot? We got KO4S4, Scott 79. Man, Scott's been around for a long time. I appreciate all of y'all, of course, but I remember Scott, I think when I was first starting, I think he was a subscriber, so that's really awesome. But anyway, yeah, I guess it's 7:01, so we'll kick it off. But I do want to know, like, hello, A-dubs. But what I do want to know, and y'all can just, hello, Vanessa Kitty, y'all can just list them below. What gun do y'all prefer to carry, or do you rotate, or do you carry like one gun for EDC like every day, or do you carry like a summer version and then a winter version? I know some people do that. I have friends that do that. But I'm just trying to get an idea. And if you carry appendix or 3 o'clock, and also if you hear some thunder and stuff, we're finally getting some rain. It's not major rain, but we're finally getting some rain. It's been raining kind of off and on for like about an hour or so. So if you hear thunder, it's not my stomach, burping or any of that. It's thunder. So hello, Dubai. How are you? Vanessa is reloading. Let's see. Got his Sons of Liberty Gunworks 13.7, shoots great. Yeah, those are nice rifles. Congratulations, man. Those are nice rifle. All right, we'll start with Scott here. I rotate based on season. Summertime, I typically carry something lightweight. Winter, I'll carry a full size. Okay. And Vanessa, shoulder holster, and my leather CCW vest. There you go. What kind of firearm are you carrying in the shoulder holster? Just curious, Vanessa, if you want to let us know. And if you don't want to say, that's cool too. I know some people don't like saying, what type of gun or any of that. Let's see here. I think I missed something. Let me catch up here. Wish Trump had Hunter's laptop at the resort. At least the boys in blue would have finally found it. Oh, the FBI has it, but they're kind of hiding it. So, they have it. Yeah, I've been to Florida many times, and you're right. You could be perfect, and all of a sudden, boom, you'll have a torrential downpour, and then 10 minutes later, it's okay. All right, Milkman is carrying a 365 at 3 o'clock all year long. That's cool. I carry the same 365 all year, summer AIWB and winter OWB. Oh, she's got her Kunin. Cool. Those are nice. Pistol Pete has his 45 auto at the 250 position, Vetter holster. Hello, Lake Ozark guy. How are you? He's got his 365X. That is cool. I'll carry my 6-inch Rock Island Ultra Attack 10mm in a shoulder. I have a shoulder holster way back. Hello, Nelson. How are you? I used to have a shoulder holster way back. I don't even know where the hell it is. It was a real nice, ornate. I mean, it was like tooled leather, scroll. I mean, it was really, really nice. Had my initials on it. I don't even know where the hell it is. I mean, it was probably, God, it's probably 20 or 25 years ago. A gentleman made it for me, and it was really, really nice. I don't even know where the hell it is. It's probably in one of the safes somewhere. Probably folded up and stuck in a safe. And what I would usually do, especially with leather, I would put a silica bag, like a bigger silica bag, and I would wrap them up and stick it in there. And on some of the leather goods I used to have, in order to keep the position, I would either keep the gun in it, or I would, stuff it with newspaper to make sure it didn't sink, or not stuff it to where it pooches out, but just to keep the form. Let me catch up. Everybody's dropping them here. Let's see here. EDC Rotate Summer T-shirt, 365 XL pants or jeans, MR920, heavier clothes, 1911. A2 double stack, 45. All appendix carry. Carry is M18 appendix. Maikai P10C with TLR 7A, 3 o'clock. Basketball shorts. Yeah, and a lot of people don't really think about this. This is something that I do. If I'm, what you can do is you can actually put your EDC belt on, like put it on your skin, so to say, like around your hips, and latch it up, put your gun in it, and then you can put basketball shorts over it. I've been doing that for 1,000 years. It works great. You just literally put your belt on your skin, and I've never had one move, fall off, loosen, any of that kind of stuff. It works great, even under basketball shorts. So you don't have to have any special thing. Just put the belt literally on your body against your skin. Pistol Pete carries a Shield 9mm at times. Waterhead is the P07 at 3 o'clock, or MP Core 9. Dubai 365 XL with a 507K most of the time. P01 with 507K of staying late outside. Hey, Big Al, how are you? Hope you're doing well, sir. Everyone hit that thumbs up. I agree. Thanks, Ranger. All right, let me catch up. I guess I'm reading too fast. Still have some of the old TLR 7 on pistols. Have you guys ever used reload wrap for a spare mag? I really like it for some situations. I have not, Pistol Pete. I've heard some people talk about it. I personally haven't used it. Shoulder holster rig. I had the shoulder holster rig like during the Miami Vice days and stuff. I thought it was cool. Mine was just kind of a Western tooled look. It wasn't the smooth leather like some of them are. And it had a really wide, it was, like I said, it was really ornate. I need to find it and show it. It was actually really nice. Need to put it on and try it. Maybe I'll dig it out of one of the safes one day. I think that's where it is. Hey, IBG, how are you? All right. Well, as y'all know, what I pretty much carry is I carry the Staccato C2 Duo, and that is with the Acro P2, with the X300. And I carry it in the Tenacore holster. The Tenacore holster has this called the Tenacore Soul. I have the 4-inch and the 5-inch. That is pretty much my go-to, and I'm just kind of saying it on the chat. I haven't done a video on it. Those are pretty much now my go-to for the 2011s, and they fit other 2011s. That's pretty much my go-to holster. I really, really like it. And I know Harry's working on some stuff, so hopefully that'll be out sometime. But that's pretty much my go-to. Really like those holsters a lot, and they're working well. Now I have altered the clips. Now they come with discrete carry concept clips, the steel clips. Those are the only clips I'll use, but they come with 1.5s, and I'm not a big 1.5 fan because my belt is 1.5. So I changed them to the 175 clips. So I have a little leeway to pull the holster up and then snap it off. So they work really well for me. The clips do. I mean, the thing about those is you could literally you could probably lift my big ass up with the holster and those clips. It would not come off the belt. I mean, they are stout, and I have broken some plastic clips in the past. That's why I will only use discrete carry concepts. I was doing dry fires, like just ripping the gun out, and I snagged one of the clips on my hand, the plastic clips, and just snapped it. The head just went flying off. Not knocking it, not knocking a company. I mean, it can happen over time because it had been flexed for probably putting it on thousands of times. But still, I just don't put a lot of faith in those anymore. Hello, Abigail. How are you? The Gun Snob. How are you? Floridian. Matt Moore. But yeah, so I carry the Staccato. I've proven it out. It now has, man, that gun has probably the new replacement gun. See, I think I got my book here. Last count was 850 rounds, and that is mixed with defensive 115, 124, and 50 rounds of 147. I don't really run 147, but I wanted to test it, so there you go. There's that. And that is on the newer one. So I have really good faith in that. And that was bringing up another point, and y'all have heard me say this before many times. I know the 365 is a super popular gun, like the Shield Plus, a lot of the smaller micro type guns. But, and I'll say it again, people ask me all the time. You can look at this last video I put out on the Masterpiece Arms. I probably had like 10 people, or well, not 10. It's probably 5 or 6 saying, hey, why don't you carry a 365? Why don't you carry a 365? Why don't you carry a micro gun? My hands are just too big for a micro gun. When I'm practicing with guns, dry firing, of course, there's no ammo in it. I'm just doing shoulder, or holster draws, grabbing your left hand, your shirt, ripping it up, pulling the gun out, getting on target, just doing some dry fires. When I go down to grab those small micro guns, as I'm going down, I just can't get the master grip on them, or I will miss the grip. Not all the time, but probably, sometimes 4 to 5 times out of 10, I might completely miss that grip. I'll try to snatch it, and it's just so small, I just can't hook the fingers under it. So I won't carry it. That's just me. So I am not a micro guy. The only reason I would carry it is if I was wearing a suit and I needed like really, really discreet, like deep concealment. I'd probably carry my Shield 45 or my Shield 1.0. I still have it, but it's all tricked out. Neither one of those have dots on them. I know that I could still shoot with them, but that would not be my preferred round. So, and Keenan brought up, I think he did a video on it, talking about, he's going back to a full-size gun also. And I know that everybody circles, and some people are just like, hey, the 365 is the gun for me, and that's cool. I'm not knocking whatever anyone carries. That's awesome. They're just not for me. So, nothing against people. I'm not dissing your gun. It's just not for me. So, yeah, the Phoenix Redbacks are nice. MD Polo just got a new one. He got their new single action 40 cal. It's like their race gun, and it's really, really nice. Let's see here. I took a new gun owner to the range today in North Carolina. He had 2 guns for almost a year and never fired them. He has 2 worst guns for carry: a Taurus small 38 revolver and an old LCP9. Sights suck on those guns. Yeah, they do. They do. Hello, Miss Hotshot. She carries a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, and like I said, there's nothing wrong. I'm not an average hand person. I'm a mutant, so that I get it that most people would never have the problem I have. So I totally get it. Let's see here. KO4S4. I don't like my 365 XL. It's too small for my hands. My times are slower than my MR 920. Yeah, and I've actually stuck myself on a timer. I'm not like a race guy or anything, but you know, it just doesn't work for me. So, and I know they're good guns, not knocking them. Abigail says I don't really count how many rounds I have through my guns after 1,000 rounds. No, I get it. The only reason I do is for if there's an issue, like there was on the staccato, just so I can let them know and that I know. So if I get a replacement or something like that, once I reach that, I just want to make sure it'll carry over that threshold. Or, I mean, I've got some guns that have 20,000 rounds through them. They're old as shit. I even have some guns that rattle, believe it or not. They're so damn old. I don't really ever shoot them. They just sit in the damn safe. James Johnson loved the 226 Legion so much, I bought a 229 Legion for carry. Broke now. Yeah, I hear you. With your hand size, I can completely see the 365 series not fitting you. Yeah, what's really funny is Humble Marksman is 6'5". I'm 6'3". So he's 6'5", and he made me do that. He's like, oh, you talk about these hands. So we put our hands together, and my fingers are like that much bigger than his. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's kind of freakish. I was palming a basketball at like 11 years old. Hey, what's up, Tactical Firearms? How are you, man? On my work from home days, I carry an 8-inch Anaconda and a leather cross-draw holster. There you go. Go big or go home, man. Let's see here. Shield Plus and M&P Compact are usually what I go with. I've carried the VP9 comfortably as well. Yeah. Makes total sense to me that a larger person could conceal a larger gun than a smaller person can't. Well, I have a buddy of mine, and he's pretty small. I think he's 5. Well, I mean, he's shorter than me. He's probably 5'8" or 5'9", and he weighs like $160, $170. And he carries a Glock 34 with a dot, and he has forever. Yeah. After 1,000 rounds, I only count every 500 rounds. The math is easier that way. Yeah, I try to keep pretty accurate count because also, like I might do like a 2,000 review follow-up or whatever, and I want to be honest and accurate, as possible. I mean, if I'm off by 5 rounds or something, that's acceptable, but I don't just want to throw numbers and pull shit out of my butt like some people do. I mean, I've seen some people like do videos and they're like, well, I got 2,000 rounds through it, and they don't even have a smile on the barrel. So when they open it up, there's not even a smile on the barrel, and I'm like, call bullshit on that, dude. Because I might even have the same gun they do, and I'm like, nope, there's no way you get that many rounds through that gun, even if it's clean or not. I did have a weird thing. Well, it wasn't weird, but I was at the range shooting, and I heard a guy at the end of the range, like at the end of the bay, and he was shooting, and I could hear this scratch. I mean, it was like, it sounded like a squeaky freaking door. And I was like, what the shit is that? And he was like, damn it, blah, blah, blah. He was kind of cussing a little bit. And I kind of stood back and I looked over there, and he was like moving his gun around. He wasn't like pistol waving anybody, but he was just kind of looking at his gun and, pulling the slide back, and he was racking the slide with the mag out of it. And it was like, and I mean, it was just sounded like shit. And I went over there and I was like, is everything okay? He's like, man, my gun's running like shit. And I was like, do you want me to take a look at it? And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of new to guns. And, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so in there, I introduced myself. We started talking. And I looked at it, and it was a Taurus G3. And I was pulling the slide back, and it was like, I mean, it was like squawking like hell. And I looked at it, and I said, got a question for you. How often do you lube your gun? Because, I mean, I was feeling the barrel was dry as shit. The slide was dry as shit, up in the slide grooves. And he's like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to lube it. He goes, I run a snake through it, and I wipe it off. And I was like, man, you got to put some lube on this thing. So anyway, I went over to my bag, and I grabbed the lube, and, I just pulled it apart, popped it all apart, lubed the barrel, wiped it all down, put some in the slides with my little needle deal. And anyway, put it all back together, racked it. The squeak and noise went completely away. He loaded it up. I said, here, go ahead and shoot. I stood behind him, and he was like, oh, man, that's so much better. He's like, the slide was like jerking as it was coming back, and it was sticking. And I was like, man, you got to lube them. So anyway, and I showed him how I was doing it. So he watched me do it, so he'll know how to do it the next time, because he said he knew how to take it apart and everything. So anyway, hopefully we could help some people out. And I was like, watch some videos if you get confused. But I said, yeah, you got to have lube on your gun. Not dump, just pour a shitload in there, but just, keep it a little wet, just so the damn thing will run. But yeah, it was dry as a bone, and it was hot too. So I let it cool down before I actually put lube on it. What's up, Dennis Buckner? How are you? And Double B, Two Gun Kitty, how are you? Yep, that's what I have. It's Lucas Extreme. I've got the big bottles and little bottles in the gun bags and stuff. I don't lube my cig. I spit on it once in a while. Yeah. I mean, you gotta, if you want your shit to run right, you gotta, put some lube on that stuff, man. It'll definitely dry them up. Let's see here. Where did that one go? Miss Herodon, my Pew Army carries an Nighthawk TRS comp, and she's probably 5'2", 100 pounds. There you go. Yeah, and I mean, I carry my Staccato P, because that was one of the things that Keenan was asking, like, what's the biggest gun you've carried or carry? I mean, I've carried some big ass guns, but probably the biggest I carry now is my Staccato P with the Threat Cadre comp and the X300 appendix, and the gun is 5.3 inches total. 5.3 is the length of the barrel. So I mean, it's a big gun, and I carry it with the 20 rounds, sometimes 17, but most of the time with the 20 round mag. So I mean, I don't do it all the time, but I've carried it quite a bit. It'll spit and smack, spit and stroke. Yep, those will work. But I did want to ask also, what do you think? Now, of course, y'all all carry guns, but what do you think a couple of the most important things to have in your EDC? Meaning, like, you could say flashlight, knife, all of that stuff. But what are the, probably other than your gun, what are the two most important things to you? I just want to see if we're kind of on the same page. If you got to pick a couple. Brad is asking, do you plan on getting the Surefire X300 Turbo? Well, I guess this is a really great time. If y'all tuned into the first part of the chat, I was actually talking about I had been on a waiting list, a pre-order, and it came up and said buy now, and I bought it now, and here it is. So this is the new X300 Turbo, and I did get the B. This is the one with the screw. So there it is. I literally got it in the mail today. The thing about this, if you don't know about it, I love the X300s. I love Streamlights also. but I love the X300s. And the good thing about these is it does not change the holster compatibility at all from the regular X300. So it is the exact same housing. However, it's got 66,000 candela. It's 600 lumens, but 66,000 candela. Your old one has 11,700 candela. So this one is more of a beam. Your regular X300 is more of a flood. And I watched today, Lucas already got his and started playing with it, and I bought this. They're not cheap, but Lucas from T-Rex Arms released a video on his today, and he could shoot easily out to 150 yards with it, or 150 meters. And he could also see at 200 meters with it pretty well. But the thing is if you have 3 perps, it really lights up one and then has a hard wall where the other one has spill, the old X300. So I'm not getting rid of any of my old X300s, but I wanted this. So you can also pop this on a PDW. I mean, he was running it on a pistol and he was running it on a PDW. So yeah, I've been waiting for this one for a while, and I'm super glad they released it. So I'll be doing some, comparisons between the X300, my regular ones, and then the turbo. So, and I went back when I pre-ordered it. I went back and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna buy another one too. And I went back in there, and I mean, not even 5 or 6 minutes later, they were completely sold out. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. So I'm glad I was on that list to buy one. But yeah, 66,000 candela is no joke, because my Cloud Defensive Rains rifle lights, they have like 56,000 candela, and those suckers, man, they'll crank out there. But they'll slam through photonic barrier, street lights, headlights, things like that. And that's why I wanted one for a pistol also. And a lot of people will say like, oh, in your home you don't need a beam, you need more of a flood, and I do agree with that. But like if you're maybe in an urban environment, like a dark alley, not like I walk down dark alleys all the time, but I'm gonna play with this one and compare it, see which one I like the best. So I might run this one, or I might stay with my regular X300s. I don't know yet. So there you go. So yes, Brad, I have the X300 Turbo. Okay, we got Pistol Pete's carrying flashlight, extra mags, medical, good handheld light, knife and tactical pin, knife and flashlight, cell phone, extra mags, good holster. There you go. Double B is the first one to say it. My 2 most important things other than a gun is a great gun belt and a great holster, because for one, you need to secure your firearm properly. And another one, you need a great belt to secure your extra mags, if you're carrying them from the belt. Your gun, I mean, it needs to be secure on your person. So I think 2 of the most important things other than the gun is a good belt and a good holster. And then, yes, carrying a knife. I always carry a knife. I will say on my flashlight, I carry a flashlight about 75% of the time. Even though I have one on my gun, I'm not going to pull it out and start waving it to light up stuff. But I do carry the stream light, like pin lights, and some of the smaller ones, like the 1AA, I think is what it's called. I've got several of those. They're not powerful lumen, but I mean, you can shoot it down you can go like 30 yards, 40 yards, and you can still see what you need to see. So I do definitely believe in carrying a flashlight, but I just don't carry it if I know that I'm only going to run out for just the daytime. I really don't carry it. However, and I was even thinking about this, what if you're in a Walmart or you're in a store or something, the electricity went out and everybody started looting or doing stupid stuff, it'd be good. You're not going to wave your pistol around, pistol wave everybody. So it would be good to have a flashlight on you. So that kind of made me think, I really do need to carry a flashlight everywhere, not just sometimes. So, yep, Brad, good guess, definitely. Yep, light on the pistol, but handheld light also, and knife. And I'll be real honest with you, on the backup mags, I probably, depending on where I'm going, I do a lot of traveling. Now, I always have a backup mag in my truck, and that's not always the answer. But I would say probably about 50% of the time I have a backup mag on my person. Um, Sometimes I actually don't. So, but I do carry a pretty high capacity pistol. It's not like 10 rounds. However, the first thing that can fail is a mag. So, you know, it is important to carry that. Just sometimes I just don't. I'm just being honest. I don't hold any, I tell everybody like it is. Always have a backup mag. Hey, CZ Shadow 2, how are you, man? Yeah, and the flood definitely has its place. I mean, Streamlight is known for its flood. The Surefire, the original one, the X300, it's known for its flood. But I really do like on the Cloud Defensive, the rifle, how you have the beam, more of a beam. You still have spill, but that's why I was excited about this to come out because it really pulls that in. So for one, I was looking at it this way: if I have to shoot a target, and I'm just going to be honest with you, up close, if that beam, like if I put the beam or the beam is circular and I've got it like right on somebody's chest, honestly, if you can't see your sights or you couldn't see your dot or something's weird, you could shoot right where that light is and you would know where you're going to hit after you put some time through it, because I've done that, even just playing with my other pistols. So if you've got a good beam, you can pop that. Let's see here. I carry a pocket knife. Matt is saying carry a pocket knife, extra mag, and wear a watch. I don't carry on me a flashlight. My phone does that. Also, don't carry a multi-tool. I got real tools in my truck. Come at me, bro. No, man, it's cool. I've tried to, like on your phone, if you grab your phone real quick, I know you can just hit the flashlight button, but you're sitting there doing this, trying to find stuff. This thing's really big, and if you had to shoot with it, it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. So, with a little pen light, you could hold it under there, you could hold it way up here, you could do stuff like that. And I guess you could do it with your phone, but I've got what is it, the 12 plus, or I don't even know if this is the 12 or a 13 plus. I don't really remember, but anyway, it's kind of a big ass phone. So I do find that the flashlights are easier. I will never trust an O-Light for anything serious. I had one of their small handheld lights and it died in my bag. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. If y'all know about me from the past, I've blown up a few of them. So that's why I won't. But that was the older models. I've heard that they've done better, and I'm over that. I'm not beating them up anymore, but I just don't run them due to me blowing up two of them. What's up, Alan B. Pro? How are you, man? I guess it was the old AKA Jan B. Gay. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm not allowed to carry a knife? Why? Oh, maybe you're in a commie state. Say, man, I use my knife probably more than I use anything. It's amazing how much shit I cut or whatever. No, I didn't count it that way, Abigail, because you'd be surprised how many people just carry like a gun in one of those sticky holsters or whatever. And, people have asked me why I don't carry a sticky holster. And way, way back when, I went through all this where I was actually drawing. I was doing like really quick draws multiple times. I ripped the gun out and the freaking sticky holster was still on there. It was supposed to stick in your pants. Nope. So I don't need a holster or a neoprene. Well, I call them, and I'm not knocking it if you carry it. I call them, God dang, what are those things called? Those little hot plate or the oven mitts. That's what it reminds me of, a pistol mitt. I think the best thing for those would be to put them in it if you want to just store it in your safe. But I wouldn't use one for carry. I went through, I mean, I tried it multiple times and I had that thing come out like 10 or 15 times stuck on my gun. So, and I think it might even be worse on a steel gun. I think that's what I noticed when I was doing that. Yeah, core belts are legit. I've been running them for a while. I know a bunch of people on here run them. I really do believe in them. Yeah, and now that y'all are saying that, I know plenty of people that are in non-knife friendly places and they have folding like razor blade knives or the little long one that looks like a pen where you pull it out and you can break the blades off. I know a couple of guys that carry those like in their in their pants pocket and stuff. And you could just say, "Hey, it's part of my trade" or whatever if something ever came up. Knives are dangerous. Yeah, no problem, CZ Shadow. I appreciate you being here. Cough is gone. Yes, I'm definitely feel a lot better. So I appreciate y'all asking. Hey, Pranic, how are you, man? What's up, Havoc? And that's another reason that I was thinking of playing with this, and because I'm telling you, on that Claw Defense, that thing is no joke. I had a buddy of mine. I was at my dad's house, and I had a buddy of mine stand pretty far away. He's like on an acre and a half, and I had him stand like at the other end of the property, and I was popping him with that Cloud Defensive with just the upper. It was not put together. I just left it on the upper, no ammo in it, and I was pushing the button and lighting him up, and he was like that, and he's an acre or at the other end of it, and he's like, that shit's bright. So that's what I want to do with this one, and just be like, am I melting your eyeballs or what? I carry a lot of stream lights for EDC flashlights. I've had really, really good luck with them. I've even had a couple go through the wash. They've got the O-rings in them, and I've had a couple of them go through the wash, and they come out still working. I forget and leave them in my pocket. That's why I think I've got 4 or 5 of those. The smaller ones, I think it's the AAA, and then I've got the CR123 versions, which they're a little bigger, and then I've got the angled. It's like a 90-degree one. I've got a ton of stream lights. Some they sent me, and some I bought because I liked them so much. And I've got a couple of them in my truck too for backups. Allenby Pro's got the Bigfoot gun belt, good holster, pistol with light, an optic, 1 to 2 extra mags, blade, felt pen, lighter, and a picture of Big J. Yes, yes, that's what I want to hear. If you send it to me, I'll autograph it and put a little smooch on it for you. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to beat Streamlight. I mean, they offer great products. Matter of fact, for my small pistol light, my favorite for the small pistol light is still the TLR7A. That thing is awesome. I've got 3 of them. And they sent me one prior to the release of them to test. And then I bought 2 more of them because I like them so much. And then I'll tell you, a sleeper light, people underestimate this light, but the TLR9A, if y'all watch my Masterpiece Arms, that thing is bolted on there, and that light is no joke. I actually like the TLR9A better than I do the TLR1, and I've got a ton of the TLR1s. I think I've got like 6 of those damn things. I even have like their old 600 lumen one, and I've got a ton of the 1000 lumen ones. But I try to run them on all my guns. I've got them set up in different places to where I can have a light. Even if I have to grab one of those as a flashlight, I've got some of them around the house. What's up, MD Polo? How are you, man? I am feeling a lot better. A lot better. And yeah, MD Polo, that Phoenix Drake is awesome. If y'all haven't checked it out, go over and check out his Phoenix Drake. I think he's got it on his community tab. I don't know. I don't think he's done a video on it yet, but that thing it's legit. All my fighting rifles have a sling and a weapon light on it and a red dot because my eyes need it. My home defense pistols have a light. My Carry's pistols do not. I get it. And yes, I agree with even my fighting shotgun, my M9A31 Mossberg, it actually has a sling on it. And I've said this numerous times. Even if you're using a a rifle or a shotgun in your house, or even like a PDW, you need a sling on it, because that way they have to get it off your body if something were to happen. And they're not going to remove it unless they pull it off of your head and under your arm with a sling on it. So definitely keep a sling on your shit. And you might be fighting in your underwear, so, or maybe you don't sleep in underwear, but you might be fighting, and you're definitely going to need a sling on your stuff. So let's see here. Thanks for all the input. I need to buy one. All I have is 3 Olights. Yeah. And I'm not trying to beat up anything. I just think if it's going to be something that you're going to permanently depend on, for like your fighting gun, or however you want to say it. And I'm not trying to be the tactical guy, because I'm not. I don't ever want to play something that I'm not, but I think you do need a good quality light that is dependable. And if you have that faith in your Olights, then run them. It's completely up to you. I just have personally, and I've got video on it if you want to go back and look at it, I've blown 2 of them out, and one of them completely disintegrated off of a 12 gauge. So that wasn't good. Elvis always carried guns. Yes, he did. He carried a lot of revolvers. The P10F is a shooter. Yes, it is. I love my P10F. I've said this before. My P10F is my favorite striker fired. I would call it my striker fired battle gun, so to say. I love my P10Cs, but if I was going to, war or whatever you want to call it, that would be my choice. However, and I've said this numerous times, for SHTF, I feel everyone should own a Glock, whether it be a Glock 19X, a Glock 45, a Glock 17, a Glock 19 if it fits your hands, whatever, because of the mag compatibility and things like that. If something were to ever take a shit, everybody's going to have Glock parts, and everybody's going to have Glock mags. So there you go. I have 2 Glocks. Y'all all know I'm not a huge Glock fanboy, and I've got a shitload of Glock mags. I even have a bunch of the big sticks because it runs in my PCC. Let's see, Big J. So you like Johnny Walker King George? I'm not familiar. I know Johnny Walker, but King George? I'm not familiar with King George. Maybe I'm missing something. I've had plenty of Johnny Walker, but I don't know about the King George. Tonight is Bullet Bourbon. I have not shot the P10F in 45. I know there's a couple of people here that have had it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. SHTF, you have to book fast. Don't know how long you're away. What are you grabbing? Definitely grabbing and y'all have probably seen it. If you haven't, I have videos on it, but I'm grabbing my ultimate truck gun setup. So I've got 5.56, 300 blackout ready to go, all in one package, and a Lynx defense bag. So I'm grabbing that. And, probably depending on what's going on, I would probably throw a Glock in there with some mags and ammo. But I would definitely still carry my staccato right now on my person. And of course, I'd grab some staccato mags too. And I've got go bags set up in my truck where I've got extra mags for staccato. I've got extra ammo. I do have a little gun cleaning kit with lube and a snake, and some little torn up t-shirts in there. I've got a medical kit. I've got those, I don't know what the hell those are, those big old ass bars, like 2,000 calorie bars. They probably taste like ass, but they're like big square things. I've got some of those. I've got water, and I know they say it's not good to have the bottled water in your truck with the heat, but I do have water. I've got batteries for everything, my lights, weapon lights. I've got extra flashlights, pocket knives, one of those little headlights, tourniquets. And that is another thing. I do not carry on my person every day as a tourniquet. I do not carry it. I do have it in the truck, literally in the door. It's right there. Under where I shut my door, I've got one right there in the little ledge. There's a tourniquet right there ready to go. And I will only use the Cat 7s. I do not use rats. I have some rats, but I don't use those. I don't trust them. I've checked them. I've put them on my arms and my legs, and I've flexed my legs, and I've actually had them pop apart, even putting them on correctly. So that would be a last ditch for a rat's tourniquet. I would only recommend a Cat. I think it's a Gen 7, but those are the ones that I buy and use. And also be careful where you buy them. There are a lot of fake ones. So make sure you're getting a genuine Cat 7. Just passing that along. And I do know how to use it. And I do know how to put it on, all that stuff. But I'm not like the chest seal guy. I'm not that guy. Elvis didn't need a gun. He could just kick your butt since he was a black belt. Oh, yeah, he could do that. Why-ya? Yeah, I think that's what people were talking about. There's a couple of them on here that have the P10F in a 45. Well, Pistol Pete, you're not missing much if you've never shot a Glock. I mean, they work. They're nothing that great, but they work. Little different grip angle, but they're shootable. The only thing I've ever had go wrong on a Glock is I had the front sight, and it was put on from the factory. It was that little shitty sight, and I got it. It was on a Gen 4 Glock 17, and I was shooting it, and the front sight flew off. So I was going to put night sights on it anyway, so I did. And then I had on my Glock 19X, it came with their version of night sights. I had the back one walk off. It was just walking off because I did shoot it stock. And then I took those sights off and, of course, had it milled for a dot and put some other sights on it. And I sent the old Glock 19X sights to Coda Boy. He wanted them for a build, so I gave them to him way back when. Yeah, and as far as the Glocks for me, the Glock 19X does work the best because even a Glock 45, a Glock 17, a Glock 34, the grips are too short even for me. The Glock 19X has that little tab at the bottom, and that actually is where my pinky goes. The Glock 19X is the only Glock that my hand will actually fit on, truly fit on. That's funny, but a lot of people are like, you can't put your hand on a Glock 34, and I'm like, nope. I mean, I can, but it's still too short. Let's see here. Why should everyone own a Glock for shit hit the fan? Why not just pick up the Glock and use it instead of using it for spare parts if they're everywhere? Well, I mean, I'm just saying they're going to be readily available. And the mags will be too. That's what I was meaning. And another thing, and y'all know my feelings on this, but I would say if y'all are thinking about it or in need of them, I would start getting your AR-15 mags, 30 rounders in a free state, of course, 33 round sticks, extra mags for your pistols that are going to be your go-tos. Because I still think they're going to try to do something stupid with those. Now, it's up to you with what you want to do, like I've said many, many times, but I would definitely, if you don't have enough mags, I would definitely get the mags that you need. What's everyone's favorite appendix holster? Cheap, inside waistband, didn't work out. Don't want to keep pocket carrying. I laugh out loud. Glock 26 with TLR6. I mean, I really do like Harry's holsters. I've been working with him forever. He doesn't have light bearing, but he does make a really, really good holster. And it does come with the DCC clips. discrete carry concept clips, the monoblock clip. So those are really good holsters. Um, but there are so many holster manufacturers out there. I just always recommend the DCC clips, discrete carry concept. And if you find a holster you like, a lot of them are all drilled for the DCC clip. So if the one you're getting comes with a plastic clips or whatever, you can buy discrete carry concept clips from discrete carry concept, pick the ones that you want and put them on your holster. So if you choose to do that. Yeah, I know that you were telling me about that MD Polo. Have not tried that yet, so I bet it is good though. Oops. I had Alien Gear a long time ago sent me their shifter holster or whatever, and I tried it and it didn't work for me. I never even did a review on it. I've had a bunch of holsters sent to me that I didn't do reviews on. Some of them you could just smash in where the trigger guard was. They were shit, so I didn't even mess with those. Um, and some of them, like if they were like that, I wouldn't even give them away. I actually cut them up with a Dremel and threw them in the trash in my recycle bin. But some that I got that I knew were decent, maybe somebody needed a holster, I took a couple of bins of holsters up to Texas Gun Experience and gave them to a bunch of the guys and ladies that work there. And I told them, hey, if you get a guy that buys that particular gun, just give it to them. Are 511 cat tourniquets legit? Clyde, I really don't know. I just know that I've stayed with the cats. That's what I've got law enforcement buddies, and they swear by them. Their EMTs run them. I know some military guys that ran them. So, I mean, I know they're legit. I don't really mess around with that. Uh, I've tried the cats. I've tried another one that's kind of similar to a cat's. I can't remember the name of it, but it was jicky as shit. And when I twisted it on my arm, I actually snapped the little twister off. So I was like, well, this is shit. So I threw it away. Jay Eagers, how are you, sir? Thoughts on 226 Legion, SAO, single action only, RXP just picked one up and love it for EDC. No, the 226 Legion SAO is nice, man. No, they're legit. Oh, you got the 229? Yeah, I mean, I do like the Legions. A lot of law enforcement carry Glocks. There's a source of mags you could scavenge from them for their equipment. Yeah, I mean that's true, but a lot of the reason why a lot of them carry Glocks is because they get them so freaking cheap. The guy that I'm talking about, he's the buyer for his department, and I'm not going to say what they buy them for, but I mean they're buying them in bulk. But yeah, they're freaking cheap. So if I told you, you'd be like, "What?" But yeah, they're definitely cheap. And see, like I was saying before, the holster that I'm really liking a lot is the Tenacore for the X300. They also make them for a TLR1 and stuff. But I am really enjoying the Tenacore holsters a lot. I mean, the thickness of them, and I do like QVO also. They make really good stuff. But since I've been using it more and more with the 2011, even over the QVO for inside the waistband, I'm preferring the Tenacore. I think it's the Sequoia or the Sonoa or whatever. It's the one that fits the X300 2011s. I've got the 4-inch version and the 5-inch version, and I don't have any problems with them at all. They're actually working really good. What bourbon would you recommend for under 50 bucks? Man, there's a bunch of them. I'm trying to think of them all. Tin Cup is actually pretty good. It's made in Colorado. It's actually pretty decent, and hell, it's like $30. I still like Buffalo Trace a lot. That's still one of my go-tos, and it's actually made by Blanton's. I mean, they're the same company. Buffalo Trace is really hard to beat. Now, some people don't like it, but most of the people I've let try it, they really like it. So, kind of a Buffalo Trace connoisseur. Sorry, I had to launch somebody. What is the most common caliber today? I would say 9 millimeter. That's what I would say. Hello, Fina. How are you? Yes, I'm doing better. I appreciate that. Well, and here's the reason. Harry's Holster doesn't make a G26 holster, but Filster makes a decent AIWB for the G26. Here's the reason, AW, and I'm going to be very honest with you. If you're carrying a G26, do not buy a G26 holster. Do not. You get too much tilt with it. The longer the holster, if you're carrying appendix, it actually helps from getting the tilt. That's why he only makes the G19. So if you're carrying a G26, carry it in a G19 holster. You will thank me later because it gives you a little bit more area that goes to your pelvic area, so you have more pelvic contact and it creates less tilt. So definitely go with the G19 holster for even a Glock 26. And it allows you to carry a G19 also. Me personally, I would carry a G17 holster or a 35 holster if I was into Glocks, so I could carry my 26, my 19, my 17, all of that. So that's what I would do personally, because the more pelvic contact, if you're carrying appendix, the better off you are, and actually the more comfortable it is. Those little short ass holsters, you get too much tilt, and when it tilts, it actually pokes into your body. That's why most people don't like them. That's the same for a shield. Harry makes one for a shield, even the Shield Plus, but he adds a little bit extra length because of that exact thing I'm talking about. So that's a real thing. If you're a true appendix carrier, you will definitely appreciate a little longer holster. What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? They are. For what you're getting, and I'm not knocking them, but you are. I mean, they're way overpriced for what you're getting. And I've always said that. That should be a $350 pistol. I mean, just that's kind of what I'm. Yeah, the Catch Gen 7 tourniquets. Glock shouldn't cost as much as they do. Yeah, LEO has blue label Glocks cheap. Yes, they do. So what do we have here? 62 watching and 36 likes. Please hit that like button. Yeah, y'all smash that thing. I appreciate it so much. And also, Chris will have his chat after me, so y'all can tune into that if you'd like to. Oh, Big J, would you give up your Shadow 2 to keep your Staccato P? Why do I have to give up? How many staccatos? I mean, I've got, two staccatos, and I have two Shadow 2s. I think you should have both because one is a single action only, and one is a double action single action. So unless you get the SAO P, but I just, the single action only Shadow 2 is kind of sacrilegious to me personally. I mean, they're great guns, don't get me wrong, but the Shadow 2 was made for double action, single action. I mean, why have to choose? They're both great guns, but I will say this. If I could only pick one, and y'all know that I love the Shadow 2, if I could only pick one, it would honestly be the Staccato P. And the reason being is because I can do more with it. The Shadow 2, it's not actually drop safe. I don't know if y'all know that. And the Staccato P is, and of course you've got manual safeties, and you've got manual safeties on both. But the Staccato or the C2 is a little more bulkier. It's a little more heavier because mine are the alloy P. you know, they carry about the same ammo. I mean that's why I have both. So, but they're both fantastic guns. So that's a really hard choice. Havoc said just ordered a outside waistband QVO for my XC. Got a P, DPO, and XC in the past 3 weeks. Oh boy, well you've gone down that rabbit hole. But yes, and actually my outside waistband holster that I run on my battle belt is a QVO, and I had him make it for an XL, so it will handle my P with the comp. So it's actually 5.4 inches long, and I've got it wrapped, and it is a fantastic outside waistband holster. So QVO makes a great holster. I do really like the outside waistband holsters. I mean, I like his inside too, but it's a fantastic outside waistband. And the thing about it, even though it's longer, it will fit my C2, it'll fit my P, it'll fit my Masterpiece arms, it'll fit the hybrid, the big one. It'll fit the small one, and I run X300s on all of them, so I did order it with the X300, and Roger built it all up for me, and I mean it's a fantastic holster. So y'all have probably seen it. It's the wrapped camo. I really, really do like it though. Maker's Mark. I do have. I had some Maker's Mark. I drank it all, but Maker's Mark is not bad. I'm not saying it is. It's just I like a little bit more bite, a little bit more smokiness, kind of a tobacco vanilla taste. And Maker's Mark, in my opinion, kind of lacks that. It's a different palate taste. Not that it's bad. I just really like kind of more of a bite in my whiskey. Yes, the prisms are awesome. Primary Arms prisms are no joke. I do love mine. I've got the 9mm for my PCC. I've got the 300 blackout. I've got the 556 version. They're really nice. And if you've got astigmatism, you know it's an etched reticle, so you won't have any problem with that. What about the most common rifle caliber? I would still say it's 556/223. I would definitely say that's the most common. Um, but I prefer 308 and 300 blackout personally. I have tons of 556, but I definitely prefer 308 and 5. I'm just a 30 caliber guy. So it is 8:01. Any more quick questions? I don't want to. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Oh, here we go. Hey, Big J, I just got my hands on the new EPS carry sight from HoloSun. It's the 507K micro format. This is the micro 509T. It's a carry form factor for staccato or a 10mm woods gun. Yeah, and I know that it doesn't, it runs like on solar power. It doesn't have a battery that needs to be replaced. I don't personally have any experience with it. So let us know how it does, man. Hey, what's up, Channel Cat Chaser? How are you, man? Yeah, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. The 85,000 IRS agents, and you can't tell me they're going after the billionaires because there's not that many billionaires in the United States, and they're not going to go after businesses. They're coming after us. So I'm just letting you know. So be prepared. They're going to start auditing everybody's ass. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone so much for being on and coming up with some great questions and talking about EDC. It was very interesting hearing what you, ladies and gentlemen, carry. I'm always all about that. Let's see if there's anything real quick. Oh, also, I've had this asked a lot, so I figured I would let y'all know. Everybody asked me what I do my pistol adjustments or what I set my distance at. Like everybody says, hey, what do you adjust your pistol dots at? What distance? Just so y'all know, it's 15 yards. I think that that's a very usable area because that gives me kind of drop even at 30 yards or, it kind of sets it all up. with the 124 or the 115. So I prefer a 15-yard zero. If you like a 25 or if you like a 10 or whatever, mine is usually 14 to 15. Sometimes I've even done like 16 to 18, but I would say the average is 15 yards. So I get a lot of people ask me that, so I figured I would just throw that out there in case anybody's wondering. So, but I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great night. Any questions or comments, leave them after the chat. I will be testing out the X300 Turbo. Like I said, I pre-ordered this through Primary Arms. I paid full price. I didn't get a discount on it. And I was on the pre-order for it. They said available. I hit buy now and just got it in today, this afternoon, came in the mail. So I'll be running it and checking it, but it's 66,000 candela. So this thing's probably going to be pretty legit. So, but it is going to be more of a beam than a flood. So, but we'll check it out, and I'll throw a video up on it or something, kind of giving a first impression or whatever, so y'all could see it, and I'll try to do it at night so I can compare it to the other ones. But thank y'all so much. Have a great night, everyone. Remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.